And welcome back to Pewter Power. I'm Mike Deem. He is not Football Joe Bell. He is Brett Newsome, and we are ready to go. But we do have Joe on the line, and he is ready to talk about
He's the man in the box.
He's the man in the box.
Yeah.
And I think he's around the box or something out there in Michigan somewhere. But we've got the New Orleans Saints coming in, and big game for them, for the Buccaneers. Joe, what is your opinion on this? And let me just say right now, New Orleans, Drew Brees is not Alex Smith. How are we going to handle this?
He's slightly better.
I say we drop back and punt.
Michael Cannon, yeah, let's do that. Pay him $15 million. Let's do it. We'll work out every time.
I've got some keys to the game on this game right here against the New Orleans Saints.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get right into it since you're going to start that off. We'll go right to the keys of the game.
Get right into it.
Number one.
Number one, forget about last week. They get trounced 48-3. But they're a young football team. They've got to find a way to forget. You know, and veterans know how to forget. They know how to go on and last week was last week, and this week's a new week. Young players tend to mull and brew and stew over problems and bad plays. You know, they got to find a way to just forget about all that and move on, and that's going to be up to Raheem Morris to find a way to get them hyped up and ready to play against a much better New Orleans Saints than even the San Francisco 49ers from last week.
Well, he was trying to do that in the post-game interview at the locker room. He was telling them to forget about it.
They need to forget last year, too. At home against the Saints, that wasn't very pretty either.
Yeah, they gotta have a short memory.
Yeah, exactly.
The Falcons, you know, which they didn't do the last 5 times, so they're due for a win against New Orleans as far as I'm concerned.
All right, well, that coming from Joe Bell. Okay, what's number two?
Number two, pressure and hit Drew Brees. You know, if you've watched them play pretty steadily throughout the last couple years, the games they lose are the games he's laying on the ground. He is not a good quarterback when he gets shook up and he gets hit a lot. If you got to be able, they have to find a way to hit him probably 10 to 15 times, whether it be in a sack or just catch him right after he throws the ball. The only way they're ever going to get anywhere against Drew Brees is to put a lot of pressure. They're going to have to blitz a lot. They're going to have to be on him every chance they get.
Okay, that's
last week he threw for 343 yards and 2 touchdowns against Carolina, who actually doesn't have a very good defense, but they also are not that bad against the pass.
Yeah, he was 32 for 45 for 359.
The good news is they see each other 2 times a year. They should be very familiar with each other. So hopefully the Bucs have a game plan to stop Drew Brees, although they haven't really done it lately. Even the games that they've come close to winning, they still are giving up a lot of points, although everybody's giving up points to the Saints.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they haven't had the opportunity. You know, this is a New Orleans team that doesn't have a great running attack right now, so they are going to throw the ball a lot, whether it be play-action pass, whether it's going to be screen passes. They are going to be throwing the ball way more than they have in the past compared to their running game. So this is a week that the backfield and the defensive backs and corners are going to have to find a way to shut down the New Orleans Saints passing attack.
Isn't that what's concerning, though? Everybody in the league knows that the Saints are going to throw the ball, but yet they're 5th in the league in scoring. So even though you know it's coming, you're not stopping them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Their leading receiver right now is...
They're a hard team to stop.
Yeah, the leading receiver right now is the tight end.
My third key to the game, got that one up.
Yep, got it.
If they get Josh Freeman on track early, or on track at all, I guess would be the way to say it. Josh Freeman has had 5 very poor football games as far as I'm concerned. Not the Josh Freeman from last year. You know, maybe it's his sophomore jinx year or whatever you want to call it. He has got to find a way to get the ball to Mike Williams and Aurelius Ben. He is not getting the ball to the wide receivers, which is bringing the defenses up to the line of scrimmage much more, forcing them to not be able to run the ball and not be able to get those short passes out either because they're not afraid of Ben and Williams.
Well, I think also, again, his second year, teams have now game planned for him. They know what he's like. They're making concessions. You saw it in the 49ers game. They were baiting him 2 or 3 times on the middle linebackers, and that's what came 2 picks. The pick 6 was as a bait off of that one side. So they know what they're doing now. They've got to figure out how to get Josh Freeman free.
I have a theory about Josh. I saw him play a lot in college at Kansas State. He's one of those players. Hopefully this isn't true in the NFL, but when things are going easy for him, when he's playing against competition, I was like this in high school too, competition that's inferior, when it's easy for him, Josh is great.
Yep.
When things get a little tough, that was the knock on him at Kansas State, was conference games against Oklahoma and Missouri. He kind of fell back. He would light up teams like Baylor, and maybe we've seen that a little bit this year.
Yeah.
You know, the Colts weren't the greatest of teams. He played probably his best game of the year.
Right.
The better teams he struggles against. I think you got to get him over the hump of getting through some of the tough times, because I don't think he handles early interceptions, early turnovers well, and they can't have that.
Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? You know what's the funny thing with him is that they need to get him out of the pocket. He stays in the pocket too long. He is a great passer on the move. He needs to get to the outside, roll out, have a little time to get his receivers open, maybe run the ball a little bit more. He is a great quarterback on the move, and for some reason they hold him in the pocket too long. I don't know if that's coaching or if that's him not wanting to move out of the pocket like he needs to and not taking the opportunity to roll out.
I think a lot of times these quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks you're talking about, Joe, they want to prove that they are pocket passers. They want to show off their arm. They want to show what they can do. Yeah, I'm in the NFL. I am a quarterback. I'm not a running quarterback.
Exactly.
When Josh could be a great third running back as an option. I mean, you've seen it going back years with guys like Randall Cunningham, what they can do. Michael Vick has kind of stayed more in the pocket this year. We see what's happened to him. I mean, if you're a runner and you have the ability to get outside and pick up 5, 6, 7 yards, why wouldn't you do it?
Why would not? And he's big, 6'4", 250.
You know, Cam Newton. Look at Cam Newton as a rookie. He is doing the things that he does best. He's moving around and making things happen. Again, now we've got Tim Tebow starting for Denver this week. Same thing. Moves around, makes things happen. Not a pocket passer. Josh Freeman really isn't either. He is not Drew Brees. He is Josh Freeman. And he needs to play like Josh Freeman and play to his own strengths, not to the strengths of other elite quarterbacks.
It makes it so easy for the defense when they don't think the quarterback is ever going to leave the pocket. It's so much easier for everybody. The linebackers, the defensive ends, they don't have to worry about contain because the quarterback isn't going anywhere. When the quarterback can break contain and go outside, it opens up everything. Passes down to the tight end, the running backs, it just makes it so much easier. And he's got that ability. He needs to use it.
I agree. And that comes also from the coaching department. They have to start game planning for that, using that ability maybe, and putting some different plays in there for him to utilize that
early in the game. That's been the key. Slow starts, maybe a couple of runs. You know, some quarterback bootlegs for Josh to either decide if he wants to take it or run it to get him in the game, because it's been the slow starts that are killing him. I don't think they can do it against a team like New Orleans.
Yeah. And Joe, just so you know, Tampa Bay in the division, NFC South division, they've scored 87 points and only had 125 against. New Orleans has 125 against, but they've scored 157 points. So that's a big thing.
That's what I'm saying. New Orleans scores a lot of points. This is going to be a hard game for Tampa. You know, they're not going to stop New Orleans from scoring points. I'm telling you right now, New Orleans is going to score. They're going to score a lot. Tampa's got to find a way to score points and just keep up with them.
It's not going to be a 6-3 final.
Actually, I'll give you my score right now. Tampa Bay 27, New Orleans 24 in a close game.
All right. Well, we've got to go, Joe. I know you got to go get back on vacation. I appreciate the call in, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
See you later. All right, we'll be right back after these messages.